This is the latest KTM Duke 250, perhaps one of the most underrated quarter-liter motorcycles, single-cylinder quarter-liter motorcycles available on sale in India. KTM has updated this motorcycle at the time when nobody was least anticipating it. Now it has almost everything new. If you want to count the things that are new on this motorcycle, from the front it gets new tires, new wheels, new wheel hub, new disc plate, new brakes, new headlight, new mirrors, new instrument cluster, new handlebar, new fuel tank, new chassis, new subframe, and new tail section, new airbox, new rear suspension. Everything is almost brand new on this motorcycle. So the only issue with the previous generation of KTM Duke 250, the one that this is replacing, is that that was not as hooliganistic in nature as the other KTMs are. Don't get me wrong, the previous generation Duke 250 was almost as smooth as it can possibly get. It was an excellent city-friendly motorcycle. You could do touring on that as well. But then the engine was, after a certain degree, let's say on third, fourth gear, the engine used to have a very kind of a flat spot. It was almost like a dead spot on the motorcycle. That's something which used to steal away all the fun from that motorcycle. However, KTM has addressed all of that. Starting with the design, the wheel that you are seeing on this is taken away from the Duke 390. The headlight console is all brand new. The way you can differentiate the 390 and the 250 from the front is that the 250 does not get that DRL surrounding the main headlight unit, and which can fix that as an aftermarket accessory, but then that's the main differentiating factor from the front. And the suspension on this, again, it's a WP Apex suspension. It's manufactured by Endurance, and it is not adjustable on the 390. It comes as an adjustable. The instrument console, this is something which we have already seen on the KTM 250 Adventure as well. So this is a non-colored instrument console, but then yeah, it's an LCD unit, and it has almost every information that you would ever want, the way a KTM usually does. The mirrors are nice and sturdier. This again has been taken away from the Dominar. The switchgear panels, again, those are taken from the Duke 390. So again, we are talking about really high quality switchgear with a lot of tactile feel to it. The bodywork as well is slightly different from the 390 Duke, because the tank extensions are not as angular, as sharp as it is on the 390 Duke. This one, to my eyes, looks slightly better. This does not have that aerodynamic wind channeling thing going on with that. The fuel tank is bigger now to help all those people who wanted to tour on this motorcycle. The fuel tank is 15 liters now, so you can definitely get a lot more range. The seat, I find it to be very accommodating for my height. At 5'8", it's decent enough. I do not have any problem with the space on offer. However, taller people will definitely have a complaint, because at my height itself, the rear part where the passenger seat is, my bum is already rubbing against that. So there's not a lot of space for people who are like above 5'10", or maybe all you 6-footers out there. The rear suspension, typical KTM fashion, it is stiffer. It is a bit on the stiffer side. It's mounted in a different way, and with that, what KTM has done is they have been able to fix a bigger airbox, nearly 40% bigger. The swing arm again is all new, the one that you have seen on the 390 Duke. The tires, they look like the Metzeler M5s. The design is very similar. Even you have the speed rating and the cornering clearance thing on that. It looks quite beautiful. It's decently grippy. I have not been able to ride this bike on wet conditions yet, but then considering it's an MRF steel belted radial, I would assume that this is a good tire, because usually MRF radial tires are quite good. So with all these changes, what KTM has managed to do is that they have reduced the motorcycle's weight by nearly 8 kilos, and that is a lot of weight savings. On the engine front, so this makes about 30 bhps with the 250cc motor. The power delivery is as punchy as you would get on, let's say, a CB300R or maybe an Apache RTR 310 or the BMW 310R. The 310Rs, they do feel a little bit more, aggressive. They are a little bit faster. But where this actually trumps the BMWs and TVS's 310cc engine is with the refinement. I am not saying that this is a butter smooth engine. If you are somebody who has been pampered by Japanese single cylinder motorcycles which are like butter smooth, you will feel vibrations on this motorcycle at certain places, but then it's not that it is consistently there. The vibrations do not get into the way of you enjoying the motorcycle. Like when you are gunning it really hard, you do feel mild buzz coming into the foot pegs, and then at certain times I can actually feel it on the fuel tank, which is very controlled. On the handlebar it's very mild, but then when you are literally pushing the motorcycle, this engine towards its red line, that is when you might end up feeling a little bit buzz on the handlebar. But then it's not consistently there. It's not that, after a couple of hours of riding, the bike will leave your hand or your legs or your butt sore. It's nothing like that. Of course, yes, it is not as smooth as the Japanese singles, let's say the R15 or the CB300R or even the Suzuki Gixxer 250. But it does what it does, and it does it quite good. And you can get a little bit aggressive with this, you can, if you want, you can pop some wheelies. You cannot pop power wheelies, but then in first gear, if you know how to pop wheelies, you can easily do that. In city, although the handlebar is quite wide, we can still play around. There is absolutely no problem. You can be a hooligan. So at 2.43 lakhs, is this worth? So what all options do we have? Let's talk about the options, right? So you have the Honda CB300R, which is like 2,49,000. You have the Triumph Speed 400 at 2,43 or 33. I think it's 33 now. So considering all of those options, and then this, it is a difficult choice. The Triumph is extremely well built. That is there. The engine is quite friendly in the lower revs. Plus, it has got a decent grunt to it. The only problem I feel on the Triumph is that, beautiful brakes on this thing. So the only issue that I see on the Triumph is that, after like 8,000 RPM, the bike goes into a very dead, a very flat mode, and that's something which is a little bit annoying. But then the Triumph has its own advantages. The service interval is like once in, 16,000 kilometers. On the other hand, this would need service in every 6,000 kilometers. But then the advantage of the Duke is that you have the service centers available, at least more than 3 times what the Triumph service network is. So KTM definitely has an advantage. Plus the availability of spare parts and everything is a lot more easier. The parts aren't so expensive, so maintaining it's easier too. And see, finally it comes to the road presence, right? The street presence. The Triumph, although the engine and everything is good, the build quality is fabulous, but then the bike looks small. It looks like a regular 150cc motorcycle on steroids. This, on the other hand, the Duke 250, it has its presence. It feels big and it feels every bit premium, if not as premium as the Triumph is. And at the same time, this bike is significantly lighter, so you can just hustle this motorcycle in cities, on highways. You can go aggressive, you can ride as fast as hard as you want, and the bike will just not complain. And next is the Honda CB300R. Yes, that bike has a lot of complaints, especially since Honda has started to manufacture it in India. I've been listening a lot of issues about it from the new owners, right, who have bought the new made in India motorcycle. And sadly though, I am not in a position to recommend the Honda to you. Would I recommend this? Yes, I would. I would want you to consider the Triumph as well, in case if you like it. But yeah, Duke is a Duke. It is a proper hooligan motorcycle, and you cannot go wrong buying a Duke, right? That is guaranteed. Be it the 125 or 200 or 250 or 390, you will never go wrong with a Duke. Especially because they are so playful, so light and so agile. So yeah, with all of that, let me end this video now. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys liked it. I'll see you guys again in another video. Stay safe, ride safe, and God bless you all. Happy motoring. Bye bye.